You're going to the gym, you're following some sort of diet, but you're not seeing any sort of results. Well, that was exactly the case for my client Deck, who came to me in these positions wanting to change. He was fed up of yo-yoing up and down, not seeing any results, and was ready to get shredded. So in this video, I'm going to break down the systems, the protocols we follow to take him from 85 kilos all the way down to 66 kilos, absolutely shredded in 6 months, while going to Mykonos, while having a kid, and while managing his very successful investment business. So I have broken his transformation down into 4 key phases. Firstly, his starting point, then the reset, then the fat loss phase, and then the reverse diet. We have completed all of these phases. We are now 4 weeks after his diet. He's away in Marrakesh, enjoying the sun with a six-pack, eating good food. I'm going to take you through how we got him there. So if we look at his starting point, he came to me at 85 kilos, pictures here. Not looking good, brother. Not looking good indeed. And that is not looking good for someone who was already going to the gym 4 times a week, following a bro split, so like an arm day, chest day. You know the drill, only hitting muscle groups 1 time a week, which we don't like. Eating 2,000 calories a day plus probably 3, sometimes 1, maybe the next day, 4 the next, no consistency. Having snacks throughout the day and then finishing the day with a big takeaway. I'm sure we all know the drill. No consistency, running his very successful investment business, which required a lot of time, led to a lot of stress, which led to him binging out, having no consistency, no structure in his day to get him the results that he desired. So all of this information was collected on the initial consultation, allowing me to get a good idea of Deck, his life, what he was currently doing, and how we were going to get him that transformation that we managed to achieve. So the reset, the plan had been made. Started him off on 2,030 calories. He was eating 170 grams of protein, 50 grams of fat, 225 grams of carbs. It was split into 3 whole meals, breakfast, lunch and dinner, with a nice snack, Greek yogurt, dark chocolate before bed. We gave him options and alternatives for all of those meals so that he didn't get bored, giving him structure and flexibility if he was at work in the office, or he could have access to a kitchen at home. We gave him, or even food out, options and alternatives, Pepe's, Nando's, etc., so that we could ensure each day there was no excuse to hit 2,000-ish calories. Obviously, there was a bit of variation depending on the options that he picked, but at the beginning, those nuances of 50, 100 calories, they're not the be-all or end-all. The main thing is consistency at the beginning, and we designed a plan that he could consistently stick to over the next 6 months. We set him doing 4 sessions, so he was already doing 4 sessions a week. The only thing we manipulated was his split. He was running 1 time a week frequency. We moved that to twice a week, doing an upper-lower push-pull split. The push day had some quad exercises, so it was like anterior. The pull day was posterior with a bit of hamstring and deadlifts. So we were hitting every muscle group twice a week. We reduced his volume before he was going in doing 25, 30 sets each session. He was doing way too much. The quality was poor, the quantity was high. We wanted to switch that up. So we got him sending me training clips, which I'm going to pop on the screen here, so that I could implement feedback to him so we could provide the muscle the best stimulus. We were then logging our workouts on the app that I provide all my clients with to make sure each week we were getting stronger and stronger and stronger. Over the 6 months, he managed to lose 19 kilos and get stronger. What does that tell us? It tells us we definitely went for a recomp, which you can tell from the pictures where he has built muscle and lost fat at the same time. Good work, Deck. Very good. So we got him doing 10K steps a day from the offset. He was already basically doing that, so we got him just doing that. And then we got him doing 20 minutes cardio post-workout after every session. He was actually, when he came to me, doing a little bit of cardio, but again, no consistency. So it was all about building consistency and good habits. The mindset where people go wrong with dieting is, with Deck, I knew if I could get a plan that he could stick to and enjoy for the next 6 months that would put him in a slight deficit, losing anywhere from 0.5% to 1% of his body weight a week. If we did that for 6 months, he would get a shredded and a transformation, which is exactly what we did. The mindset for him before was all or nothing. I need to lose. He even got on the call and said, mate, I want to be shredded in 3 months of my holiday to Mykonos. And I said, mate, being 100% realistic, you'll be looking very good for Mykonos, but you probably won't be a complete transformation. So this is the mindset that people have. They've got this all or nothing approach, trying to do whatever it takes to achieve an unrealistic result. It's unrealistic for Deck to think that he was going to be a transformation in 3 months, losing 19 kilos. That's not going to happen unless you take Ozempic or some crazy stuff like that. But we're all natural here. So yeah, the first set was the reset, finding something that he could stick to. And again, with the consultation, we managed to get it so that he was pretty happy with the plan from the offset. We made a couple of manipulations over the first few weeks just to get into the swing of things. And then it was all about really digging into the fat loss and making sure, getting into the nitty gritty of things and getting shredded. So let's look at the fat loss. This was the main stint. So obviously in that reset, you're always going to lose a couple of kilos straight away off the back of things just because we had some consistency. But now that could be water weight, food volume, loads of different factors about why we're losing weight initially. But this was getting into that fat loss phase. So how did we manage to lose 19 kilos in 6 months while managing social events and all these things, going on holiday, becoming a dad, all of these big factors that came up? So we made weekly adjustments to his food, steps and cardio, making sure that he was in the calorie deficit each week. Not a huge calorie deficit, we were just chipping away. As he was getting lighter, his maintenance was lowering, so we were having to adjust his calories each week, slowly playing the game, just losing 1 to 0.5% a week, which for him was like anywhere from 0.4 to 0.8 kilos each week. Now, we did that with slowly tapering up his cardio. By the end of his cardio, as you see here, he was doing 40 minutes cardio every single day, which is quite a lot, but only for a short period of time at the end. If we had to do 40 minutes of cardio every single day for the whole 6 months, he would have never got this transformation. It was only the last few weeks, right, let's go hard, last bit of fat loss. And by that point, he's looking so good, he's willing to do anything to get to the end of this diet. So managing off-plan events was so important. That is how we get a result. With all my clients, I always say to them, it's not what we do when we're on plan, when we're at home, when we're in routine. It's what we do when we're off plan, when we're on holiday, when we're out for family meals, out for social events, out for work events. Being a dad, that 1 month period was very busy. So it's about putting protocols in place so that we don't undo all the hard work. During them phases, we're just looking to maintain the result. When you go out for dinner, I'm not expecting you to lose weight the next day. I'm just hoping we don't gain a kilo. So let's put things in place so that we can maintain our weight, bank our calories for them evenings. Similar when we went to Mykonos, right? Let's train every single day if we can. Let's stick to spirits. Let's get lots of movement in and let's eat clean, good, healthy food. Let's not be going Burger King. Let's be eating fish, good steak, good quality meals, which have got lowering calories, not just fast food, processed foods. So that when he comes back, bang, straight back into the swing of things, let's finish this diet off. Now, a big thing for Dec was, again, high stress, managing a successful business, lots of employees. It's about prioritizing his sleep, recovery. If we prioritized his sleep and recovery, he was then able to maximize his performance in the gym and allowing him to have and maintain lots of energy. This was priority number 1, family, priority number 2, business, and then transformation. So I knew if I buried him to the ground, get him doing hours cardio, eating no food, he would have low energy. If he's got low energy, he can't run his business. He can't be a good dad. Right, well then this is going to be put on the back burner. So for me, it's like, right, I want him to be always enjoying this process so that when it gets tough and we're already near the end and he only has to diet for a few more weeks, he's just going to do it. But we need that buy-in. If I get him doing crazy stuff from the beginning and he starts feeling dreadful, he's just going to sack this off. So it's about enjoying the process, finding something we can consistently stick to in our lifestyle. That's how we get these crazy results that you see on my page. So again, by the end, his food did go down to 1,400 calories, which is quite low. But you've got to think, right, 1 day out of the week, he was going out for a meal. So yes, 1,400 calories was the plan, but we have a few slip-ups here and there. Again, it's all about chasing consistency over perfection. Slip-ups are always going to happen. It's about minimizing the damage when they do happen. Aiming for 130 grams of protein. So you will see this protein did come down because the main goal is to hit 2 grams of protein per kilo of body weight. As he got leaner, going down to 65 kilos, right, we only need to hit 130 grams of protein. There's no need for us to be doing more. I'd rather put those calories to fats and carbs that are going to give you more energy. The more energy you've got, the harder you can train in the gym. So if we also look, by the end of the day, the split did not change. Nothing changed. Crazy. The one thing I always get, oh, how does your training change? Oh, I want to change my training. No. Keep it because we want to standardize it. The way you know you're losing body fat is from the scales and pictures. How do we know we're maintaining our muscle tissue? Well, it's by doing the same exercises each week, but lifting a little bit more weight. Lifting a little bit more weight or doing a bit more reps. We do that each week, we know we're building muscle. Yes, at the end, strength might come down slightly because we're in a big deficit and we've lost almost 20 kilos. Our body has completely changed. The stability around the joints is way less. We've got less energy going into sessions. I'm not expecting us to be lifting the same. Pretty much in the last few weeks is when Dec really said, oh, you know what, I'm actually noticing I'm getting a bit weak here. But that is totally normal in a transformation. And then, like I said, 1,400 calories at the end. Yes, that is low, but that is just for a short period of time at the end. That is the last 3-4 weeks when we're digging hard at the end of a diet. You've got to think we started at 2030. So we slowly taper down the 600 calories over the 6 months, slowly increased his cardio over the 6 months. And to be fair, by the end, he was doing more steps because he was just being a bit of a madman and just going walking in fields. I put some pictures of him walking in fields, sending me crazy guy. But yeah, absolutely smashed it. So that was the fat loss phase done. Bang. 85 to 66 kilos, 6 months. dusted. What next? Well, next is the reverse diet. So the reverse diet. Dec is now shredded. Dec is now ready to eat. He's ready to have a bit more flexibility with his lifestyle. Sorry, he's ready not to eat 1,400 calories a day. He doesn't want to do cardio every single day. So we slowly remove these things, remove his cardio, taper down his cardio, and increase his food. You don't go from being in a nice big deficit to then bang, 2,000 calories, no cardio, because then we accumulate body fat at too quick a rate. What we do is we slowly taper him out of this cardio. We slowly reduce the cardio. We slowly increase his food. He is now 4 weeks post-diet, 1.5 kilos heavier, looks just as good. I'll put pictures up now. More energy, stronger in the gym. Nothing has changed in the gym. He's doing the same exercises still because we're using that as a measure. Each week now he's getting stronger and stronger and stronger. So we know we're putting on muscle. Similar, he is still doing cardio, but instead of doing 40 minutes every day, he's only doing 20 minutes 4 times a week after he's done his session. So it's a lot more tolerable than what he was doing at the end. Still doing 10K steps, and he's up 400 calories. So he's eating 1,800 calories, 140 grams of which is coming from protein. The rest is distributed between fats and carbs. He's got a bit more flexibility because he's got more calories. What does this mean? More social events, right? So he can now comfortably go out once, twice a week, with his boys, with his family, right? What's he going to get? He's just going to get clean food. Because this is a lifestyle change now. This isn't like, oh, I want to have a big burger, cheat meal. It's like, no, right, now I'm going to be having, good steak, quality fish, nice restaurants. We're not going to Burger King. We're going to the Ivy Asia. We're getting good food. We're getting salmon. We're getting sushi. And then we're using that food as fuel. If body weight does creep up a bit the next day, right, well, my glycogen stores are full. I'm going to go and train as hard as possible and build as much muscle as possible. This phase now is about maintaining the lean aesthetic physique that we've built, but focusing on increasing his food, making it more of a lifestyle. My goal with Dec now is to slowly push him up to maybe 71, 72 kilos over the next 4 to 5 months, and then get him absolutely shredded for next holiday. So that first diet that we went through is the hardest diet he's ever going to go. He's never going to have to do a diet like that again, because now we're going to work his calories up to maybe 3,000 calories, 72 kilos, and then start a diet from there for next summer and get him shredded. And that version of Dec is going to absolutely blow the water out of the version that we've just made here. So this is the importance. It's all well and good getting lean and dieting down, but how do you look 6 months? 6 months later, you should be eating 3,000 calories, 3,500 calories, feeling good, energized. Yes, not quite as lean as you were before, but still with abs, maybe 5-6 kilos heavier, looking to gain like 1 kilo a month is a very good rate of gain, where we know we're not going to be putting on too much body fat and we're going to be putting on a lot of muscle. Again, focusing on training performance, trying to get as strong as possible while enjoying his life, running his businesses, and putting other things as a bit more of a priority than lifting weights maybe. So one big thing for Dec was, again, he's running a successful business, right? Clearly his mindset to build that business is very good. But now he's more confident than ever. Look at the physique, look at the dedication that has gone in, the commitment shown to achieve this transformation is similar to that of building a business. He's laid the foundations down now, and he's confident. He's walking into the room, he's got the best physique, he's worked hard for it, and he deserves it. And that comes with more energy levels. He's not now, living off the takeaways. He's eating whole, nutritious foods. His fitness is better than ever. He's stronger than ever. He's leaner than ever. His sleep is better than ever as a byproduct of all of these things, which then just allows him to feel better and run a more successful business. Again, this all comes down to discipline. He can now do anything he puts his mind to, right? If you can eat 1,400 calories a day for a month, go from 85 kilos to 66 kilos, training consistently shows another level of discipline, which again has led his business to thrive. And again, strength now is at an all-time high. He is lifting more weight now at 67.5 kilos than he was at 85 kilos at his start point. So that just tells us that he's again gone through a crazy recomp and built an absolute load of muscle. So again, this is where the process that I have taken him through has allowed him to completely change his lifestyle so that he will never go back to where he was at 85 kilos. That is the goal. If you 6 months later gain loads of body fat, then to me that was absolutely pointless. It's about sustainability, and that's why, yes, some guys maybe try and get results quicker, but then they have horrible rebounds. For me, it's all about making it a lifestyle, and then we keep the result that we've worked so hard to achieve. So if you're a busy professional and you are currently training, following some sort of diet, not seeing any results, go check out the rest of the videos on my page. You see, I've done podcasts where my clients explain their journeys. I've also done lots of walkthroughs just like this. The social proof is endless. Go to my Instagram and you'll see all of my results there. If you want something like that and you're already putting in the effort, but you need that you need that specific plan tailored to you as an individual, you, your lifestyle, the systems in place, then fill in the form in my bio or drop me a message on Instagram and let's get to work. Let's get you absolutely shredded. And who knows, in 6 months' time, I might be doing a video just like this on you.